Thank you.
At this point, let me recognize Senator Manchin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And General Nagasone, let me just say I'm sorry, because I have all the confidence in the world in you, and we've been working very close together, and I'm chairman of the Cyber Committee, and also along with Senator Mike Rounds. And we both appreciate your service, and we're looking forward to any hearing you want to have. And but I can tell you have the support of a bipartisan group here, which is very, very deep. Next of all, General Fenton, I would like to ask you a question based on the publishing of the 2019 SecDef DoD Cybercom Operation Forces memo, which directed the organization of DoD Cyber Operation Forces. There has been substantial appropriation development of Cybercom organization and capabilities. The question is, what is the status of the current Special Operations Forces program developed within SOCOM, and what effort is needed to keep pace with Cybercom?
Senator, I'll start by, we've got a very close relationship with General Nakasone and Cybercom, and it's progressed into an area that we now call a capability, soft space cyber triad. At its heart, it's the ability to converge those capabilities, the soft placement access, the cyber work, and certainly the space work in places for integrated deterrence effects that we would otherwise not get if we were doing it individually, and bring certainly a bigger sum back to not only the mission but to any partner we're working with.
Okay.
That's been an incredible effort alongside General Nakasone's team. We're very grateful for that, and also in the SpaceCom arena. We are moving that forward with exercises, experimentation, a number of senior leader huddles, and I think that you'll see that progress, Senator, and we'd be happy to talk about the progress.
My final question is for all three of you, and I'll start with Secretary Mayer, then go to General Nagasone, and then to General Fenton. What can we do to help as Congress? What would be the greatest help we could be to you, all of us in the Senate and our Congress, our cohorts over on the other side of the House? That would be the greatest, and I think if I'm asking, having a budget done on time, what does that mean for you?
So, Senator, thanks for the question. I think we will probably all say that having a budget that's consistent, predictable, and on
does it
time,
save you time? Does it save you money?
It saves us time. It saves us money. It adds predictability. It allows us to put things on contract. And frankly,
So we're talking September 30th.
Yes, sir. And I think from the perspective of enterprise and the special operations enterprise that's going through transition, the ability to modernize is hurt by the fact that the budgets don't come predictably. So that's really where sometimes it comes home to roost, and it's a...
So a budget on time would be a pretty high priority?
Yes, sir.
General Nagasone.
It's the same thing, Senator. It's on time. It really does.
How does it reduce your cost?
It's predictability. It's being able to, actually spend the money when it's actually due, as opposed to a shortened period of time. We also have new starts that will not be delayed; would actually be able to get on. So we would welcome that.
When's the last time that you had a predictable budget on time?
Not since I've been the commander.
General Fenton.
Senator, I'll start first by you already help in many ways with a number of the tools that we use at SOCOM, 333, 1202, 127. But to your point on the budget, I'll echo my colleagues here at the table: predictable, reliable, on time. And then I'll just add that CR's hurt. In SOCOM, our priority number 3 is transform. And we think of ourselves as a pathfinder and a trailblazer. And we need new capabilities to not only surpass adversaries, but always to be dominant. That's not possible with new capabilities and new contracts with the CR. It's also, we work with a lot of little companies that want business with Special Ops Command because they know we're transformative and that we're a trailblazer for the department. They can't wait forever to get their money, and many of them aren't there anymore as a result of my senses of a number of CRs from
Does this make
almost
sense?
2011.
Does this sound reasonable to you all, that I've been told by some retired admirals and generals that if we did our budget on time, now by the 85 budget, the budget law that we had, the president's supposed to have his budget submitted by the 1st of February, and here we are. The House and the Senate are supposed to have theirs by April the 1st and reconciled by April the 15th, and then we're supposed to have a budget completed by September 30th. I've been told if all that happened, that the military could have a savings anywhere between 5 to 10%. Well, in today's cost, you're talking $40 to $80 billion. Does that sound reasonable? I mean, it's tremendous. But it has that type of an effect. I don't know if you all looked at and evaluated it per area of DOD. Secretary, have you have anything on that, or have you looked at it under those conditions? Because the person never hesitated when they told me this.
So, Senator, I can't account for that exact measure, but I can tell you that it is more costly, and as I think my colleagues and I have indicated, there's a risk to it as well. It's not only financial, it's the ability to execute and operate with some degree of predictability, which, of course, the nation looks at us to do.
Well, I know that we have many examples that you can look back on and find out when we did do one on time and everything, but if you could, and give us an accurate account, or close as accurate as you can be, what would be the savings? Because we're in a position now, we're having debates and discussing, we can do things, we can change this year, change our ways, and not commit the sins of the past, and I'm hoping that we can do that. But it has a tremendous effect on our military, which is what we're depending. First of all, thank all of you and all of you sitting there for your service. I appreciate it more than you know. And again, I want to thank you all.